Welcome back to another Explainer, where we take complex ideas and make them completely visually intuitive. Today, we're demystifying a fundamental concept in programming. We are going to explore exactly how computers organize data, and we'll do it by tracing the exact steps to build a sorting machine totally from scratch.
So let's dive right in with a pretty wild question. How do you get a slithery Python script to take a completely chaotic list of numbers and perfectly organize them? I mean, think about why this matters. Whether it's an e-commerce site instantly sorting thousands of products by price or a massive video game updating a global leaderboard, sorting is absolutely everywhere. For us humans, we can just look at a few numbers and know immediately which one is the biggest. But computers, they're incredibly literal. They need painstakingly specific instructions to pull off that exact same trick.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll look at what Python arrays are, how to loop through your data, finding the largest number, the unique power of the pop function, and finally, sorting with Python functions.
All right, part one. What are Python arrays? Storing your data in boxes. To actually start organizing data, we first have to understand exactly how Python stores it. The easiest way to think about this, simply imagine an array, which Python calls a list, as a physical row of cardboard boxes. Every single piece of data you have gets placed into one of these boxes in a neat little row. So if you've got the numbers 3, 7, 1, 9, and 4, they are literally sitting side by side in these connected containers. But how do we tell the computer which box to open?
Well, here is the kicker, and it's a universal rule in Python you must always remember. Python starts counting these boxes at 0, not 1. That means your very first item lives at index 0. If you want to access the number 3, you don't ask for box 1. Instead, you use square brackets and ask for my_array0. The second item, the number 7, is at index 1, accessed by my_array1, and so on. It takes a second to get used to, but zero indexing is absolutely crucial.
And while we're talking about rules, here is another huge gotcha to keep in mind. If you ask a user for numbers using the input function, Python reads those entirely as text strings. If you type the number 5, Python literally sees the word 5. And obviously, you can't do math or sorting on text. So you've got to use the split function to chop that text into a list based on spaces, and then use the int function to convert those text numbers into real mathematical integers before you can even think about sorting them.
Moving on to part two, looping through your data, doing the heavy lifting.
Okay, once we have our real integers stored securely in our array, we need a way to look through them without doing it all by hand. Imagine you had 1,000 boxes. You are definitely not going to write 1,000 individual lines of code saying, print my array of 0, print my array of 1, and so on. That would take forever. Instead, loops let the computer effortlessly check each box one by one. You can either loop directly over the elements themselves, or, and this is often way more useful, you can loop using those index numbers we just talked about. Loops are basically the engine of our sorting machine.
Part 3. Finding the largest number, cracking the logic.
Now for our first real challenge. Let's see how this builds into an actual algorithm. Think about holding a piece of paper with our numbers on it. 3, 7, 1, 9, 4. How does your brain physically scan left to right to find the biggest number? Well, you start with the first number you see, right? And as your eyes move down the line, you are subconsciously constantly asking yourself, wait, is this new number bigger than the biggest one I've seen so far?
So, we literally just teach the computer to mimic human eyes. Step 1. We assume the very first box at index 0 is the winner, our largest guess, because, well, we can't compare against nothing. Step 2. We use our loop to go through each remaining element one by one. Step 3. If the current element is bigger than our winner, we swap out the winner and update our largest record. We just repeat this until the list is completely checked, and boom, we found the biggest number in the array.
All right, part 4, the power of pop, moving data around.
We can successfully find the biggest number now, which is great. But to actually sort the entire list, we have to physically move that number out of the way. Enter Python's brilliant built-in tool called pop. This function is incredibly special because it executes two distinct actions at the exact same time. First, it completely removes an element from your list. But second, it returns that removed value, handing it right back to you so you can immediately use it in your next step.
To really picture this, imagine your array as a row of 5 physical school lockers. Calling pop isn't just taking your jacket out of the locker. It's like opening the locker, grabbing your jacket, and then the locker completely vanishes from existence. Because that locker slot is deleted, the entire list becomes shorter, and every single locker to the right automatically slides to the left to fill the gap.
Which brings us to part 5,
sorting with Python functions, putting it all together. We are finally ready for the grand finale, writing our automated sorting machine. To keep our code perfectly clean and organized, we package our logic into what is called a function. Think of a function as a reusable machine. You write the code once, give it an input, it does its job, and it hands you an output. By making our find largest logic into a function, we never have to rewrite those same searching steps over and over again. We literally just call the function whenever we need it.
The strategy for our sorting algorithm is just beautiful. We create a while loop that keeps running as long as our original array still has items in it. Inside that loop, we use our fancy new function to find the index of the largest number. Then, we use our pop tool to yank that largest number right out of the original list. Finally, we append, or drop, that number into a brand new, totally separate list called our sorted array.
Just look at how satisfying this plays out step by step. In round 1, we find the 9, pop it out, and now our sorted array has a 9. The original array is now one locker shorter. In round 2, the largest remaining number is 7. We pop it and drop it right next to the 9. With every single round, the original chaotic list shrinks and slides to the left, while our perfectly ordered, largest to smallest sorted list steadily grows. It is a brilliantly mechanical process.
But I want to leave you with a bit of a brain teaser. Our strategy here works perfectly, for sure. But we had to create a second separate array to hold all the sorted answers. Now, if you have millions of numbers, creating a second list takes up double the computer's memory. So how could you achieve this exact same sorted result without using a second list at all? How could you sort the numbers by simply swapping their positions inside the exact same row of original boxes? That technique is actually called an in-place sort. And figuring out how to do that is your next amazing challenge in mastering Python algorithms. Keep coding, keep experimenting, and we'll see you in the next explainer.